Liam, after getting a taste of pro ball last year, going to Springfield also, how has it changed your off season, or what's your off season look like, to get ready for your first spring training, I guess?
Yeah, definitely a little bit more of a professional aspect where you're doing a lot more stuff on your own and still staying in shape though, and it's still the main focus, and that's getting my body ready as best as I possibly can to go down to spring training.
How often are you throwing a couple times a week, or what's your routine look like so far?
I got a pitching schedule from Pierpont, our pitching coordinator, and thrown a few bullpens up to now, and throwing 4 to 5 times a week, and staying on track for that, and just looking to build up heading into spring training, and heading down to Florida tomorrow. Actually, get ready, heading down early.
Where's most of your off season been so far before?
Been back home. It was good to be back home for a little bit. I'm from southern New Hampshire, so a little bit outside of Boston. But yeah, been back home with my family and stuff like that. Working out there, got good facilities and stuff up there, so it's been fun.
Liam, can you describe how you evolved into the pitcher that's not only talented but also so emotional on the mound?
Yeah, I just think I'm extremely competitive. Played a lot of sports growing up and stuff like that, and always was competitive in that. But baseball was a sport I was definitely the best at, so it was fun to win a lot and stuff like that when I was back home in New Hampshire and do stuff like that. But I think that's just the competitive side that comes out of me, being from the Northeast, how I kind of grew up, being a big, passionate sports fan about all sports and stuff like that, and just shows it on the mound.
Were you like that like in 8th grade? Like,
I would say if you ask pretty much anyone that played with me, yeah, I was. I was always that guy, which was pretty cool for me, and I think it just helps me when I'm on the mound.
do you think is it one of those things where, like, your teammates loved it and the opposition didn't love
Yeah,
it?
playing the villain role, which is something that me and Coach V talked about a lot at Tennessee. That if you don't like us, that's fine, but we're gonna do our thing out there and have a fun time doing it.
When you watch yourself on video, do you say, who is that guy? Or does it look like you're like an out-of-body experience when you're watching yourself?
Yeah, I like to think I have a different personality or whatever when I'm off the field. I'm usually pretty chill and hanging out with the guys or whatever, and normal guy. But when I'm on the mound, yeah, I'm definitely very competitive and just being myself out there and having fun and competing.
What was the reaction? What was the group chat like when Tony Vitello, big league managers, started to become a reality?
I know that was pretty wild. Obviously, I wasn't in Knoxville when it was happening, but talked to a lot of the guys that are still there and stuff like that. It was a pretty interesting experience, but I'm thrilled for him. I'm glad for him. He was definitely my favorite coach I've ever had in my life, and he helped me so much throughout the way and stuff like that. So I'm always be pulling for him.
Is that to a point now where you're kind of hoping you get the Giants sometime soon and get a chance to shove? Like, is that?
Yeah, there's been a few conversations between me and him already. We'll see him soon.
Liam, as far as like the physical preparation side for spring, what does that kind of look like for you heading into your first spring training?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I did last year at school that really helped me get ready for the season and stuff like that, and mixed in with a professional throwing schedule and stuff like that, working with those guys and make sure my arm's in shape, and definitely heading down to spring training very early and getting ahead of the curve on that.
What have the kind of conversations been like with the staff of just kind of some of the things that you're focusing on this winter?
Just make sure staying healthy, staying in shape, maintaining body mass and muscle and stuff like that, and, has been very important to me throughout the past couple of years even too. So just like that, and just making sure I'm at a really good point when I get down to Florida and staying in good shape that way.
Is there a pitcher, two questions, or same question, two players, a pitcher that you loved, your favorite player growing up, and then is there a pitcher you emulate, try to be like?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I grew up going to a ton of Red Sox games and stuff like that, so it was really cool for me to go watch Chris Sale pitch, especially being a lefty. I don't necessarily throw like him or have anything like him. He has some obviously unbelievable stuff, and he's been doing it for so long now, but he was always really cool to watch growing up, especially being in Boston and stuff like that. Even before that, when he was with the White Sox, it was always cool to watch. But I like emulating my game off of like a guy like Max Scherzer. I feel like he's very aggressive out there and very competitive, and saw that even in the World Series and stuff this year. So he's always been fun to watch, and he's been also doing it for so long and been so good for so long, just like Chris Sale. Yep.
Did you have a chance to meet Max, get together with him at all?
No, and it's kind of funny because V's really good friends with him too. So I've talked to him, or V's talked to him about me multiple times. I know that and stuff like that, but I haven't got to meet him yet. That would be a cool person to meet.
Much like Scherzer, you're known for your intense demeanor on the mound. Is there one guy in the show you can't wait to stare down in the box, like Juan Soto? If Soto shuffles you a little bit,
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking forward to? Or?
Yeah, I think that would all be cool. You can go on a tangent about 10 to 20 people. That would be really cool to strike out. But I have so much respect for all those guys in the MLB now, and like obviously, the competitive side is going to come out of me and stuff like that in baseball. But I think that's what makes sports great. And yeah, it'd be cool to strike out Juan Soto. It'd be cool to strike out Ohtani, Judge. But obviously, those guys have been doing it so long in the MLB and great, making all that money and doing it for so long. So. Got to show your respect to them too, but it is a competitive sport, and look forward to facing them.
I know you came to St. Louis earlier this past year, but now that you're here in a fan setting, I saw you taking selfies with the kids and the whole thing.
Yeah.
What's that experience been like as you kind of meet Cardinal Nation?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome to see how passionate they are, especially about their baseball and stuff like that. And even went to the Blues games last night and see how cool they are or passionate about they are about hockey and stuff like that. And just shows you how cool of a sports city it is, and being all those guys and being from a sports city myself, it's pretty cool to see that carry over and stuff like that. And they're just as passionate, and it's pretty cool to be a part of.
Liam, how valuable was it for you to get to game action this past fall or end of summer rather than having to wait calendar year gets to 2026, so up to camp and first game action and spring training? Like, how valuable was it to get that underneath your belt, and did you learn anything about yourself in this short period of time?
Yeah, definitely. I try to make it a point throughout the whole draft process with teams and stuff too that I did want to continue to throw that year. Made sure I was in great shape throughout the whole draft and to keep throwing and stuff like that. And they were all on board with it. And obviously there was different ways to go about it, and I think we went about it a great way. Went down to Florida for a little bit, continued to throw and throw to some live hitters and bullpens and stuff like that, and then sent me out in low A for 2 innings, and it was good just to get my feet wet. It wasn't even necessarily about the whole baseball thing or how I did really out there. It was really just to go get my feet wet and get ready to go on, obviously build off of that for this year coming up. But yeah, it was really cool. Face all those guys and just trying to see how the different pro mentalities, and even when I was down in Double A in Springfield and stuff like that, to play with like Arenado and Donovan and stuff like that. That was really sweet for me, just to, even though but just big leaguers and stuff like that, just being around them, pitching in front of that. And at the end of the day, it's still just baseball, and gotta get the 3 strikes before the hitter hits the ball. So that's my goal.
What did you pick up? What did you learn with that time in Springfield? Because you had a chance to be at the championship club.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Obviously, that squad was pretty loaded. We were really talented from pitching aspect and everyone in the field. And I was only there for 2 weeks, but you could see how much they really cared and stuff like that. Got a great coaching staff there, and it was just a fun time. Fans were very passionate, so it was fun. It was cool to start learning pro ball from them, and also play for a Texas League championship. That was pretty sweet for me too.
What would you tell people about Rainiel Rodriguez?
Yeah. Yeah, I watched him a lot in Palm Beach and stuff like that. He's young, talented. I've heard more great stuff about him too, so I'm sure he's going to be a great prospect. See him on all those lists and stuff like that, and seems like a great guy.
This is probably a stretch, I admit, but you grew up in the same area as the legendary Adam Sandler. Was he part of like growing up? Like, was he part of your world at all?
Yeah, he actually went to my high school for about 1 year, and then I believe the story is that he got kicked out. So I don't know how that went. But yeah, he's from my area. It's pretty cool, and he's a local legend, and he's pretty funny. He'll just pop into like random restaurants that me and my family would go into on a Friday night, and you won't even know he's there. He's a cool guy, and he's definitely one of my favorite actors too.
Quinn was talking about how last year he was basically Sonny Gray's son, additional member of the family. Obviously, he's gone. As you've seen the changes that have happened just since you've joined the organization, is there someone you're hoping to kind of latch on to, learn from specifically?
I wouldn't say anyone in specific, but just be able to talk to all those pro guys and stuff like that, and pick their brains. Obviously, people that have been just working through pro ball throughout their whole career here, especially guys that have been in this organization for a while, would be really cool to meet. But no one in particular, just kind of a little bit from everyone, and use how I've been able to get here too with success. So it'd be good to talk to them.
Have the Cardinals given you an innings target for this upcoming?
Not yet. I don't necessarily know what the plan is for that yet, but I'm sure they have a plan out. I'm sure we'll talk about it this week when I get down there.
Liam, what's sort of the feeling like of arriving at the beginning of something, right? Like, this is an organization that's been pretty clear that there's a little bit of a reset button happening here. Guys are going out, they're bringing in a lot of younger guys. Where you were drafted, the success that you've had, there's a lot of expectation that comes along with it, right? What's the feeling of being at the beginning of what this franchise wants to be?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and they've made it pretty clear to me that I'm a big piece of that puzzle that we're looking to build for the future and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to it. It's too passionate of a fan base and too good of a sports city to not be good for this long. So I'm looking to make a change, and hopefully this whole team will be on board with that too.
Does there end up being any like a competitiveness with you and Tanner Franklin about who can make it to the majors quicker?
Yeah, there always is. I'll beat them.
Liam, how confident are you, it's out of your control, but how confident are you that you can move through the system quickly? That your stuff will play as you move higher and higher levels?
Yeah, I'm always confident in myself like that, but there's a lot of work you got to do to get to that point. And obviously, pro ball is a lot different than college ball, so got to adapt and adjust to certain things. But I'm gonna be working hard and hopefully get up there soon.
I mean, what's that like for you to have Tanner? I mean, drafted in the same draft class as you, and you guys kind of enter pro ball together after having that background at Tennessee.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have a college teammate that I spent a full year with get drafted the same work for me right after me. It was pretty funny. I was celebrating my family and stuff and didn't even realize that he got drafted right after me. So it was pretty sweet, and it's cool. We talk all the time, and he's heading down to Florida this week too. So ready to get back to work together and get going on the season.
You mentioned that some of your off-season work has been about keeping your body in shape. How much of it has also been, I guess, is dictated by the Cardinals, your repertoire? Have you toyed with anything or worked with anything, or are you just feeling good about what you have?
Yeah, it's been more of like a consistent like arm build-up more than like working on anything or fixing anything. That's probably going to happen before the season if we're fixing anything and stuff like that. But just kind of getting my arm in shape to be able to do that when I get down to Florida was the goal.